Welcome back, Rack Pack. Rackmdar here, and today I'm bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to go ahead, jump into the shop here, and I want to give you guys my thoughts and impressions and my review of this brand new box. For me, this one is really exciting, and it turns out I picked a really great time to jump right back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because not only did they give me great and amazing Neo-Spacian support and, Elemental Hero Neo support, they also gave me some Dark Magician support really soon afterwards. So for me, I'm really excited to be able to have this box available. Dark Magician is one of my favorite archetypes alongside of all of the heroes. I'm pretty much the anime main character combined from the first two seasons, GX. I like the heroes, the elemental heroes. I do like all the other heroes as well, but I like the heroes. I like Dark Magician, so I'm pretty much those two combined. It's a lot of fun for me. I love these two archetypes, and I actually own one of the a Dark Magician deck in the TCG. It's not full Dark Magician, and we'll actually talk about it here in a moment, but it came with it was like a big collection box that they did, where it was a lot of dragon archetypes, and they were updated for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! So Cyber Dragons got all of it was like a deck list with all of their modern cards. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, as well as the Dark Magician and the dragons that they have. So it was mostly Dark Magician, but it also played around some of the cards where they can summon the Dark Magician Dragon Fusion monsters. And that's actually the case here as well. As you can see, we have Amulet Dragon as our Dark Magician Dragon Fusion, so that's really cool. But the main card in this set, or in this box, is Magician Navigation. This card is really poggers for Dark Magician. Allows you to swarm the field, allows you to have a lot of versatility, because all you need is because now you can summon spellcasters from your deck to help support your Dark Magician, and it's really nice, really awesome trap card here. Special summon. The only downside is you have to have a Dark Magician in your hand, and this was something kind of amusing when me and my brothers played. Is I thought this meant any Dark Magician, so I would actually use this with Skilled Dark Magician in order to get a free Dark Magician from my deck. You can't do that. It doesn't say Dark Magician Monster, it says Dark Magician. I didn't know that when me and my brothers were playing. We were learning the game again, and we probably cheated a lot with all these different effects, but yeah, you have to use a Dark Magician, and it has to be in your hand, so kind of a downside. We do have ways to add it to our hand, as the one of the skills that Arcana does have is based around Dark Magician, but because we do have Magician Illusion, I'll even go ahead and show you the deck list I threw together. It's not really great, but it does have some of the cards in it, and I'll kind of talk about them real quick. Because as you saw, I was able to grab a couple of the cards that I wanted and reset the box to get another copy of them. So here I built it up a little bit just to have it available to me. And one of his skills is a trick up the sleeve, I believe. Yeah. So your starting hand will include one level 7 or higher Dark Spellcaster type monster. The unfortunate thing is, this guy is also a level 7 Dark Spellcaster, so there's a good chance that it'll start you with Magician of Dark Illusion instead of Dark Magician himself. But yeah, so basically you're going to want to use this card to summon Dark Magician and potentially this guy. This one, Dark Illusion, is really nice because he has a second effect here that'll allow you to summon Dark Magicians from your graveyard. So if you try to make some plays on your opponent, this only works on your opponent's turn, but if you try to make some plays on your opponent, this could be a nice way to add your Dark Magician to the field and, you know, get some more field control. But yeah, so those are the two that you'll probably use. We do have 3 copies of Magician's Rod now, which is really nice for this deck. It'll allow us to search our Navigation, our Dark Magic Attack, Thousand Knives, or our Dark Magic Curtain, whichever one we would need. We can even search Eye of Timaeus, because it does say add 1 trap, spell or trap that specifically lists Dark Magician. Eye of Timaeus specifically lists Dark Magician. We can now search this card, and this is going to be, I think, the main way to play the Dark Magician deck, at least for our current meta, is we're going to be using Eye of Timaeus. Magician Navigation, summon them to the field. Eye of Timaeus to bring out big boss monsters. Because unfortunately, Dark Magician isn't a big boss monster anymore these days. Blue Eyes is, because he has 3,000 attack, but Dark Magician only has 2,500, which isn't as good as it might have been back in the day. So now we have two potential summons with this card. Eye of Timaeus does not need anything but the Dark Magician on the field. You tribute that Dark Magician, and then you summon the fusion monster from your extra deck. There's no other requirements. You do not need the a dragon type. You don't need Buster Blader. All you need is the Dark Magician. So this will add. This will be what we'll use to summon Amulet Dragon. Amulet Dragon is a, as the name suggests, a dragon type monster. You can only summon it with the Eye of Timaeus anyway. And then whenever this card is summoned, you can banish spell cards in any player's graveyard, at least 1. And if you do, this card gains 100 attack for each card banished. So that's really nice. It starts off with 2,900 attack, which is a pretty big attack point range on its own. And then you can maybe increase it a bit higher and potentially make it above that 3,000 for dealing with Blue Eyes monsters. Another cool side effect is you can start banishing problematic spell cards in the graveyard. If your opponent is playing Neos Fusion, you can banish those Neos Fusions to help to make sure they don't protect themselves. You can banish the Kokai Miro cards so that they can't use them on their next turn. There's a lot of spell cards, or a few spell cards like that are really nice to get rid of from the graveyard due to those graveyard effects. Unfortunately, it is only spell cards, so you won't be able to get rid of maybe some problematic trap cards like the Paleozoic Canadia, but getting rid of those spell cards, especially like the ones that protect, really nice. Get rid of those Neos Fusions out of the graveyard. I think this card will be really good for the deck. Easy way to summon it, easy way to search it, really good consistency. Again, the main downside is Magician Navigation requires Dark Magician in your hand. So I think it'll be cool to see what different ways that Dark Magician, what kind of decks players build to make sure that Dark Magician's in our hand more consistently, especially with all the various skills that we have. I think it'll be pretty interesting. I'm really excited to see what kind of stuff we have for that. And then another card that we will also be able to summon is Dark Paladin. Dark Paladin requires Dark Magician and Buster Blader, and it's a pretty nice card as well. 2,900 attack again, which is a nice, good attack point range, and can be boosted for each Dragon type monster that is face up on the, or each Dragon type monster on the field or in the graveyard. So this will be our out to Blue Eyes decks for the most part, but it is. Even without the Blue Eyes, it's a nice 2,900, and it also comes with the added effect to negate a spell card during its activation by discarding 1 card. So that's really nice. Help maybe shut down some plays your opponent's making if you know they're maybe a fusion deck. So get rid of some of those Red Eyes, fusions. And I don't think this is a once per turn effect, because it does say when a spell card is activated, you can discard 1 card to negate it. So I don't think it's once per turn. As long as you have cards in your hand, you can negate that activation. So even if your opponent is searching a ton of Red Eyes fusions, just nope, negate, bam, pretty much dual 1 from there. So that'll be pretty nice. These 2 cards combined, I think, will make this deck pretty powerful. I'm not quite sure if it'll rise to the rise up to defeat our current meta kings right now. As again, there's a little bit of a consistency problem, but in terms of power, I think it has the right stuff, and we even have some, all the cool Dark Magician cards to deal with various other things on the field. And then later on down the road, maybe we'll get some new and cool Dark Magician support. There's a lot of Dark Magician cards they can add. Some of them definitely too broken for the game right now, but it'll be really cool when they come. We even have an Xyz monster, so if they decide to give that extra support during the Xyz era, when they finally introduce that new summoning mechanic, Dark Magician will be even stronger because there's a rank 7 Xyz monster available to that archetype, and the Magician's Navigation is pretty much a guaranteed rank 7 Xyz whenever we have that available. So I'm excited for the future of Dark Magician, and I'm really excited to take a look at all the different decks that people will come up with for the archetype now that we have these cool new cards. So that's about sums up the Dark Magician support. The best thing about it is this is a mini box, right? If this was in a big box, I wouldn't be nearly as excited because that, you know, similar to Miracle Fusion, which I was also excited for, I would be disappointed because I don't want to go through an entire box for one copy of an ultra rare card. And granted, this has other cards that help support it, but Magician Navigation is the big one. So I'm really glad that I can get some support from one of my favorite archetypes in the form of a mini box. I don't have to dig around in a ton of packs. I can get it pretty easily. And as you can see, I already managed to, like I said, I got a copy already. And I did reset the box because I got the copy pretty early, and I wanted to just make it more efficient to get more than one copy. So yeah. Additionally to the Dark Magician support, we do have Electromagnet Warrior support. So this is one of the archetypes that little Yugi tended to use in the anime. He used the Magnet Warriors. I don't think Electromagnet Warriors were a thing, you know, when he did all of his big duels, but these guys are pretty interesting. They have a new boss monster now, Berserkion, and basically you need Alpha, Gamma, and Beta in order to summon him. One of the big unfortunate things is Beta is a level 33 reward for Yugi Muto, and that's the only copy of the card that we have available to us. If we had more ways to obtain the Beta, I think this deck would really shine, but as it stands right now, we only get one copy of Beta, so it might be a little bit of a problem for the deck going forward. I think they have what it takes to really compete, and Berserkion is pretty solid because this guy can he's 3000 attack, which is insane, really good range or attack point range, and then basically when he is on the field, you can banish a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster from your graveyard to destroy one card. And these guys also count as Magnet Warriors, even though they are considered Electromagnet Warriors. They are considered Magnet Warriors as well. So once this guy's summoned, you'll most likely have at least 2 or 3, and that is 3 destruction effects right off the back. Really fast board clear. It does take a lot of resources, but if your opponent is using all of their resources to get those summons out, bam, this guy comes out and just destroys all the cards. I think this guy will be really good. And they also have this other field spell now called Catapult Zone, where if a monster would be destroyed by battle, you can send a rock type monster to the graveyard instead. And this from your deck, I mean. So if you have these little guys, or these guys out on the field, if they were to be destroyed, you can use this to send another one to the graveyard instead of destroying it, allowing you to add more fuel for Berserkion. And this also allows Berserkion to survive as well. If you have this on the field and Berserkion is now protected from battle, which is, I think, pretty good. So that'll be pretty cool to see. Definitely excited to mess with them as well. These guys are pretty nice. They have their own effects when they're summoned. It doesn't matter which way. This guy can add the Magna Warrior guy right here, Berserkion. He can add Berserkion to the hand, which will give you an easy way of summoning it. Gamma will allow you to special summon another Magnet Warrior monster from your hand. So I think that's pretty nice. And they're all level 3, I believe. So we can maybe even see some rank 3 plays whenever we get XE summoning. And then finally, all of these ones have this extra effect where you could tribute them in order to special summon a level 4 magnet from your a level 4 magnet warrior monster from your deck. I thought it was level 4 or lower. That's actually not as good as I thought it was, but it's level 4. So unfortunately, that doesn't allow you to summon. It doesn't allow these guys to summon each other, but there is Delta the Magnet Warrior, which is a really good Magnet Warrior card to use that on. I'll just go ahead and jump into this in order to search that up for you. I know I have copies of it, so Delta. Hopefully that pulls it up. Yep. So I think this guy will definitely be a play a big role in the deck. This is the level 4 that you'll probably summon with those effects. And this guy can also, when he's normal summoned or special summoned, you can send monsters from the deck to the graveyard. And then if this guy gets sent to the graveyard, you can banish 3 level 4 or lower Magnet Warriors to summon Valkyrion from your hand or deck. So that could be pretty cool. I'm not sure if it would be optimal to play both boss monsters, because that might kind of clog up it might be a little much, and if you drew these monsters as well, they might not be as good. So I'm really curious to see if they'll play both of these, just for the sake of having Delta Warrior's effect play out, because you can banish the beta and these other ones in order to achieve that effect. So I'll be really curious to see the different plays that could be made. We'll see. There's some other people that are better at deck building, especially since I don't have all the cards, so that'll take a little bit for me to get to. And then finally, we do have Triamid support as well. This is like another rock type deck or archetype. We do have Triamid Master, more rock stuff, Triamid Cruiser, which is a field spell, and then we have Triamid King Golem, which is another field spell. Currently in the shop, the card shop, there's a Triamid spell card or trap card. It's a continuous trap that allows you to use different effects based on how many rock type monsters you banish from your graveyard. So these will be pretty interesting. I'm not quite sure if they'll see anything. And then finally, we do have all of the Orichalcus arc support. All of these legendary knights. These were in the anime, I think Kaiba, Joey, and Yugi got one copy of these. And then, of course, there's all the different dragons, and then there's even the fusion cards. We already talked about the Eye of Timaeus, but there's also the Fang of Critias and the Claw of Hermos. These guys summon a lot of these fusions that they also added to the game. I think the best one is Time Magic Hammer alongside of Goddess Bow. Goddess Bow is by far the best one because you can negate effects activated during battle phase. So this could see some niche play in some various decks that are using it. It does require you to play Claw of Hermos, so I'm not quite sure if that will be. It might not be consistent enough in various decks, but we'll kind of see how that plays out as well. And then the rest of these are just they're very unique fusions because they can equip to your monsters, but they're very hard to get out, especially if you want to equip them to a monster. With the exception of Eye of Timaeus, I think these cards are going to be kind of not so good. Eye of Timaeus, of course, will summon our big boss monsters, and then of course, and then for Claw or Fang of Critias, we do have Tyrant Wing to combo into Tyrant Burst Dragon. I'm not sure if this is any good or worth playing. The big one that this summoned was a Mirror Force Dragon. There was like this big dragon monster that you fused with Mirror Force. It was insane. It's a pretty OP card. It's got a lot of really powerful effects. Maybe not for the current era of TCG because it is, like I said, the current era of TCG is really strong, but at least for Duel Links, there's no way they're going to add that. They'd also have to add Mirror Force to the game, which they also seem a bit hesitant to do, so I doubt we'll see that anytime soon for the Duel Links meta or the Duel Links game. But yeah, so maybe some Tyrant Wing Dragon stuff could be seen play. It does allow You can equip it to a dragon, or equip it to a monster to make it allow it to have 3 battle phases, but we'll see. And then finally, Legend of Heart to summon the legendary knights, and they also have the legendary knight fusion monster. There's no way, like, there's no way you're able, like, I really would like to see this card make some cool plays, but you're gonna have to get incredibly lucky. You're gonna have to Destiny draw like 5 times in a row, which obviously can't happen because they nerfed it to once per duel a while back. So, like, the card, like, this guy looks cool and he's really powerful. He's unaffected by pretty much anything, but you have to summon all of these guys, which requires you to use these, which requires you to pay life points, and have all copies of these dragon cards, these dragon fusion cards, and you have to have a warrior on the field. Like, that's just not happening in any way or any capacity. Like, that's just way too much requirements to summon probably not even an amazing boss monster. So I'm not sure. This is a pretty unlikely card to see any play, and these guys are bricky as heck. If you draw any of these cards, they're 100% useless because you can't normal summon them, so I doubt we'll see any play with them anytime soon. The big ones here are Dark Magician and the some of the fusions for them, the Triamid fusion, or the Triamid archetype, and the Electromagnet archetype. I'm really curious to see how all of these play out in the future. I do think Electromagnets have the power to compete. I'm not sure if they have enough to be like tier 1 or tier 2, but they'll definitely have enough power to be a very viable, maybe tier 3 deck. And I think Dark Magician, unfortunately, will fall under rogue deck strategy. You can definitely hit King of Games with it, but I don't think it'll be topping any tournaments anytime soon, unless someone comes out with a really good deck list to really break open the consistency of the deck. So yeah, that is pretty much all I really had here for you guys. Just wanted to really give this video, or give you guys this review video. It's something I did a lot more often when I streamed the game. I really like talking about cards. I love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, so this is something I'll probably be doing more often as I return to form with the YouTube videos. But yeah, tell me what you guys thought in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the box? What cards are you excited for? Maybe even share some of your deck lists, and maybe I'll play them for some of my videos in the future as I pick up more of these Dark Magician cards. Be sure, if you're wanting more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links content, to subscribe and obviously hit that bell notification, because YouTube sometimes sucks at giving you your videos when you subscribe to people. So if you're looking for more of that kind of content, do subscribe. I'll have another deck list in the near future, finishing off the Neospatian support that I really wanted to talk about, so be on the lookout for that. That'll be it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later!